Another reminder, and you're sick of hearing it, but if you have friends or family that aren't here, we have a live stream of all these sessions. It's great quality, easy to follow. You can find that at dsmytv.com. Make sure to share with your friends and family. I don't know about you guys. I'm feeling a little sleepy. So how about we try something? I want to hear the parents make a little noise for your kids, but we're going to go by team. So how about we start out with Team Minnesota? Can I hear the parents? Let's go. All right, that was okay. Okay, what about Team Michigan? Iowa, let's hear it. Okay, Iowa, that was all right. How about Missouri Valley? All right, Wisconsin. All right, Lake Erie, let's hear it. All right. That's a good start. Let's keep it up, all right? Event 49, girls 11 and 12, 400-meter relay, heat 1 of 2. In lane 3, Team Missouri Valley B. In lane 4, Team Michigan B. In lane 5, Team Iowa A. And in lane 6, Team Iowa B. This is heat 1 of 2. And now for our final. Would you like me to announce who's behind the block? In lane 1, Team Wisconsin B. Lane 2, Team Michigan A. Lane 3, Team Minnesota B. Lane 4, Team Minnesota A. In lane 5, Team Wisconsin A. Lane 6, Team Missouri Valley A. Lane 7, Team Lake Erie A. And in lane 8, Team Lake Erie B. At the first exchange, Team Missouri Valley A in the lead. Halfway there, Team Minnesota A in the lead at the exchange. Last swimmer in the water, Team Minnesota A holding the lead. Huge shout out, Team Minnesota A, lane 4 with the event win. On to event 50, boys 11 and 12, 400 meter medley relay, heat 1 of 2. Swimming in lane 3, Team Missouri Valley B. Lane 4, Team Minnesota B. And in lane 5, Team Iowa B. This is your heat 1. A little bird may have just told me that it is someone's birthday today. Kaylin Reedy, Team Michigan. Happy birthday. No better way to celebrate than at Central Zones. Halfway through our B final, Minnesota in the lead. And now for our A final. Swimming in lane 1, Team Michigan B. In lane 2, Team Lake Erie A. Lane 3, Team Michigan A. Lane 4, Team Minnesota A. In lane 5, Team Wisconsin A. Lane 6, Team Iowa A. Lane 7, Team Wisconsin B. And in lane 8, Team Missouri Valley A. First exchange, Team Minnesota A in a commanding lead. At the next exchange, Minnesota A still in the lead. Last exchange, Minnesota A still in the lead. Shout out to Team Minnesota A, lane 4, with the event win. Event 51, girls 13-14, 400-meter medley relay, heat 1 of 2. Swimming in lane 3 is our Team Iowa B. Lane 4, Team Michigan B. Lane 5, Team Iowa A. And in lane 6, Team Lake Erie B. This is your B final, heat 1. Great swim by Team Michigan B for the Heat win. And now time for our A final. Swimming in lane 1, Team Missouri Valley B. Lane 2, Team Wisconsin B. Lane 3, Team Missouri Valley A. In lane 4, Team Wisconsin A. Lane 5, Team Minnesota A. Lane 6, Team Michigan A. In lane 7, Team Minnesota B. In lane 8, Team Lake Erie A. At the first exchange, Team Wisconsin A with the lead. At the next exchange, Wisconsin A still in the lead. The last exchange, Wisconsin A still holding the lead. Minnesota A at their heels. Congratulations, Team Wisconsin A with the event win. Event 52, boys 13-14, 400-meter medley relay. This is your B final. Swimming in lane 3 is Team Missouri Valley B. Lane 4 is Team Michigan B. Lane 5 is Team Lake Erie B. And in lane 6 is Team Iowa B. This is your B final. At the last turn, dead heat, Missouri Valley and Michigan. Iowa on their heels. Congrats, Team Michigan B with a heat win. And now for our A final. In lane 1 is Team Iowa A. Lane 2, Team Michigan A. Lane 3, Team Minnesota B. Lane 4, Team Minnesota A. Lane 5, Team Wisconsin A. Lane 6, Team Lake Erie A. Lane 7, Team Missouri Valley A. And in lane 8, Team Wisconsin B. At the first exchange, we have Team Minnesota A in the lead. At the next exchange, Minnesota A in the lead, but Wisconsin A's on their heels. Last exchange, Minnesota, Wisconsin, neck and neck. Minnesota with the lead at the turn. I think we can get louder, folks. Let's go. Congratulations, Team Wisconsin A, from a come-from-behind victory. We will now have a 10-minute break for athlete rest. During this break, do you know what sounds great? Popcorn. Kids, doesn't popcorn and candy sound good? Get mom and dad to go get you some right now. Is now open for cool down and warm up. That'll be about 8 minutes for cool down and warm up. 8 minutes. Swimming will resume at 9:36. Swimmers, we are going to close the pool in 3 minutes. We are closing the pool in 3 minutes. We have another birthday surprise. It has been brought to my attention that one of our officials that is over at the 50-meter start, Carol Crecchiolo, who flew here all the way from California to be an official here for our meet, is celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday, Carol. Swimmers, it is 9:33. We are now closing the pool. Please make your way out of the pool, swimmers. We are closing the pool. The pool is closed, swimmers. The pool is closed. We are going to resume swimming with event 53, the girls 11 and 12 50-meter butterfly. Heat 1 of 6. Swimming in lane 2, Olivia Thornby, Michigan. Lane 3, Mara Kretz, Minnesota. Lane 4, Riley Masoglia, Michigan. Lane 5, Sadie Etheridge, Michigan. And lane 6, Morgan Rutherford, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 6 of the prelims for the 50-meter butterfly. Heat 2 of 6. Swimming in lane 1, Mary Bowe, Minnesota. Lane 2, Moira Keenan, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Lexi Miner, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Clara Lauritsen, Michigan. Lane 5, Ella Herder, Michigan. Lane 6, Lane Grizel, Missouri Valley. Lane 7, Reese Jensen, Wisconsin. Lane 8, Addie Lant, Minnesota. Heat 2 of 6. Heat 3 of 6. Lane 1, Zoe Thompson, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Nora Fu, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Grayson Schinhelm, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Kelly Turner, Missouri Valley. Lane 5, Emery Horvath, Lake Erie. Lane 6, Brindley Cook, Lake Erie. Lane 7, Charlotte Germain, Michigan. Lane 8, Haley Herman, Wisconsin. Heat 3. Heat 4 of 6. Lane 1, Paige Turnbow, Minnesota. Lane 2, Livy Solt, Minnesota. Lane 3, Anna Lee, Minnesota. Lane 4, Annie Remus, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Ashlyn Burns, Iowa. Lane 6, Raylan Anderson, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Christina June, Lake Erie. Lane 8, Avery Bahunik, Iowa. Heat 4. Heat 5 of 6. Swimming in lane 1, Peyton Pascal, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Sabrina Brillmeyer, Lake Erie. Lane 3, Kerrigan McKim, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Hayden Benbow, Missouri Valley. Lane 5, Grace Richter, Lake Erie. Lane 6, Stella Schmidt, Lake Erie. Lane 7, Raina Boxwell, Wisconsin. Lane 8, Charlotte Watcher, Lake Erie. Heat 5 of 6. Heat 6 of 6. Lane 1, Delia Wagstaff, Minnesota. Lane 2, Poppy Lacrosse, Michigan. Lane 3, Lilia Helmrich, Minnesota. Lane 4, Maddie Steiner, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Macy Severud, Minnesota. Lane 6, Elena Lumens, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Lottie Smith, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Isla Egbers, Minnesota. Heat 6 of 6. Event 54, boys 11 and 12, 50-meter butterfly heat, 1 of 3. Swimming in lane 1, Matthew Dorshug, Michigan. Lane 2, Tupper Gorman, Michigan. Lane 3, Matt Reed, Iowa. Lane 4, Wyatt Dold, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Jacob Stolt, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Gavin Kimack, Lake Erie. Lane 7, Connor Miller, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 3, prelims. Heat 2 of 3. Lane 1, Quinn Yarborough, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Cooper Stout, Minnesota. Lane 3, Jack Elliott, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Hudson Brennan, Minnesota. Lane 5, Anthony Dorenzo, Lake Erie. Lane 6, Ozzy Ledesma, Michigan. And Lane 7, Leighton Norum, Iowa. Heat 2 of 3. Heat 3 of 3. Swimming in lane 1, Sam Mazon, Lake Erie. Lake 2, Grant Hartman, Missouri Valley. Lane 3, Warwick Kearns, Missouri Valley. Lane 4, Sheldon Lamb, Iowa. Lane 5, Aiden Kelly, Michigan. Lane 6, Grant Nugent, Missouri Valley. And lane 8, Cormac Jacks, Michigan. Heat 3 of 3. Event 55, girls 13-14, 50-meter butterfly, heat 1 of 3. Lane 1, Kinsley Olson, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Kimber Corwin, Iowa. Lane 3, Lauren Kamasa, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Dahlia Brown, Michigan. Lane 5, Ella Marsh, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Miranda Phelps, Michigan. Lane 7, Kate Kunder, Wisconsin. Lane 8, Madeline Smith, Wisconsin. Heat 1 of 3. Heat 2 of 3. Lane 1, Caroline Nielsen, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Sydney Johnson, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Nora Landon, Iowa. Lane 4, Ania Kurowski, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Elise Brazale, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Maddie Parent, Minnesota. Lane 7, Kayla Perrone, Missouri Valley. Lane 8, Chandler Offerman, Minnesota. Heat 2. Heat 3. Swimming in lane 1, Haley Brockman, Minnesota. Lane 2, Soph Berg, Minnesota. Lane 3, Avery Hogue, Missouri Valley. Lane 4, Kinley Baber, Missouri Valley. Lane 5, Ava Hughes, Lake Erie. Lane 6, Molly Mahoney, Minnesota. Lane 7, Bree Harvey, Minnesota. Lane 8, Zoe Lesko, Lake Erie. Heat 3 of 3. Event 56, boys 13-14 50-meter butterfly, heat 1 of 3. Lane 1, Cole Ludall, Minnesota. Lane 2, Braden Greer, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Anthony Kopinski, Michigan. Lane 5, Parker Hicks, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Miles Tomsick, Missouri Valley. Lane 7, Camden Rather, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 3. Heat 2. Lane 2, Ryan Shue, Michigan. Lane 3, Max Mako, Iowa. Lane 4, Graham Henderson, Missouri Valley. Lane 5, Bryson Hugas, Minnesota. Lane 6, Gabriel Van, Michigan. Lane 7, Aiden Fitch, Minnesota. Heat 2 of 3. Heat 3. Lane 2, Spencer Gremben, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Micah Debelts, Minnesota. Lane 4, Peyton McGuire. Lane 5, Aiden Malk, Lake Erie. Lane 6, Riley Burke, Wisconsin. And Lane 7, Maitri Galati, Minnesota. Heat 3 of 3. Great swimming, great swimming. Up next, we're on the south end of the pool. We're going to have event 57, the girls 11 and 12, 200-meter breaststroke. Heat 1 of 2. Swimming in lane 2, Ellen Barnes, Lake Erie. Lane 3, Bella Jimenez, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Ginger Fay, Iowa. Lane 5, Jamie Zgola, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Lauren Cluse, Team Iowa. We have our first call for finals tonight, event 53, the girls 11 and 12, 50-meter butterfly. Your alternate, Zoe Thompson, Wisconsin. Grayson Shinhelm, Wisconsin. Your B final, Sabrina Brillmeyer, Lake Erie. Avery Bahunik, Iowa. Stella Schmidt, Lake Erie. Poppy Lacrosse, Michigan. Annie Remus, Wisconsin. Anna Lay, Minnesota. Nora Fu, Wisconsin. Clara Lartz in Michigan. Your A final, Kerrigan McKim, Lake Erie. Grace Richter, Lake Erie. Ashlyn Burns, Iowa. Maddie Steiner, Wisconsin. Livy Solt, Minnesota. Lilia Helmrich, Minnesota. Elena Lumens, Wisconsin. And Hayden Benbow, Missouri Valley. It is currently 9:52 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Heat 2. Apologies, I can't read. Event 58, boys 11 and 12, 200-meter breaststroke, Heat 1. Swimming in lane 3, Harrison Mintle, Team Iowa. Lane 4, Maxim Nesdrin, Missouri Valley. Lane 5, Ellis Briley, Missouri Valley. And lane 6, Max Jeffries, Team Iowa. Heat 1. More finals announcements. Event 54, boys 11 and 12, 50-meter butterfly. Your alternates, Tupper Gorman with Michigan. Cormac Jacks, Michigan. Your B final, Leighton Norham, Iowa. Warwick Kearns, Missouri Valley. Grant Hartman, Missouri Valley. Matt Reed, Iowa. Cooper Stout, Minnesota. Gavin Kimmack, Lake Erie. Sam Mazon, Lake Erie. Grant Nugent, Missouri Valley. Your A final, Jacob Stoltz, Wisconsin. Jack Elliott, Wisconsin. Aiden Kelly, Michigan. Anthony Dorenzo, Lake Erie. Wyatt Dold, Wisconsin. Ozzie Ledesma, Michigan, Hudson Brennan, Minnesota, and Sheldon Lamb, Team Iowa. It is currently 9:56 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Final for tonight, event 55, the girls 13 and 14, 50-meter butterfly. Your alternates, Kimber Corwin, Iowa, Madeline Smith, Wisconsin. B final, Caroline Nielsen, Wisconsin. Dahlia Brown, Michigan. Bree Harvey, Minnesota. Molly Mahoney, Minnesota. Ella Marsh, Missouri Valley. Soph Berg, Minnesota. Sydney Johnson, Wisconsin. Ania Kurowski, Wisconsin. Your A final, Avery Hogue, Missouri Valley. Elise Brazil, Wisconsin. Miranda Phelps, Michigan. Kinley Baber, Missouri Valley. Lauren Kamasa, Wisconsin. Nora Landon, Iowa. Ava Hughes, Lake Erie. And Maddie Parent, Minnesota. It is currently 9:57 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Event 59, girls 13 and 14, 200-meter breaststroke, heat 1 of 3. In lane 2, Kate Walsh, Minnesota. Lane 3, Helena Mattis, Missouri Valley. Lane 4, Reese Leiter, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Amira Wen-Inglesby, Minnesota. Lane 6, Lorelei Kaufman, Lake Erie. And then lane 7, Avery Obelman, Minnesota. Final for tonight, event 56, boys 13, 14, 50-meter butterfly. Your alternate, Maitri Gulati, Minnesota. Your B final, Aiden Fitch, Minnesota. Camden Rather, Minnesota. Braden Greer, Lake Erie. Miles Tomsick, Missouri Valley. Cole Ludall, Minnesota. Ryan Shue, Michigan. Spencer Gremben, Wisconsin. Gabrielle Van, Michigan. Your A final, Parker Hicks, Wisconsin. Micah Debels, Minnesota. Riley Burke, Wisconsin. Anthony Kopinski, Michigan. Max Mako, Iowa. Peyton McGuire, Minnesota. Aiden Malk, Lake Erie. And Graham Henderson, Missouri Valley. It is currently 10 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. 2 of 3. Lane 2, Ellie Katz, Minnesota. Lane 3, Miranda Francois, Minnesota. Lane 4, Kinley Baber, Missouri Valley. Lane 5, Jayla Kutzak, Michigan. Lane 6, Maddie Dubois, Wisconsin. And on lane 7, Mia Dungoski, Minnesota. Heat 2 of 3. Heat 3. Lane 2, Paige Krings, Minnesota. Lane 3, Lydia Hajdukovic, Minnesota. Lane 4, Tessa Hansen, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Claire Christiansen, Minnesota. Lane 6, Lena Clifford, Lake Erie. And on lane 7, Helen Malkalite, Wisconsin. Heat 3 of 3 of the prelims, event 59, 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke. Don't forget, parents, swing by Elsmore Swim Shop down in the lobby of the YMCA. Make sure to pick up a shirt, a cap, goggles, anything you may need for your swimmer. Event 60, boys 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke, heat 1 of 3. Swimming in lane 2, Will Dietrich, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Will Vandenbush, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Parker Miller, Minnesota. Lane 5, Luke Woodhouse, Lake Erie. Lane 6, Reese Jenkins, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Isaiah Jacob, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 3 of the prelims, boys 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke. Heat 2. Lane 1, Carlisle Beltran, Missouri Valley. Lane 2, Ethan Hong, Michigan. Lane 3, William Zuo, Minnesota. Lane 4, Max Garbax, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Ben Susel, Iowa. Lane 6, Henry Prawl, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Henry Peterson, Team Minnesota. Finals announcements of tonight. Event 59, girls 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke. Your alternate, Lena Clifford, Lake Erie. In the B final, Avery Obelman, Minnesota. Kate Waltz, Minnesota. Paige Krings, Minnesota. Mia Dongoski, Minnesota. Lorelei Kaufman, Lake Erie. Maddie Dubois, Wisconsin. Ellie Katz, Minnesota. Helen Mulkite, Wisconsin. Your A final, Miranda Francois, Minnesota. Jayla Kutsak, Michigan. Helena Mattis, Missouri Valley. Lydia Hajdukovic, Minnesota. Reese Leiter, Wisconsin. Claire Christiansen, Minnesota. Kinley Baber, Missouri Valley. And Tessa Hansen, Wisconsin. It is currently 10:12 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Heat 3. Swimming in lane 1, James Yan, Lake Erie. Lane 2, Jasper Barone, Minnesota. Lane 3, Lucas Vargas, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Henry Zanton, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Charlie Nope, Michigan. Lane 6, Alex Engelhart, Iowa. And then lane 7, Matthew Riggs, Team Missouri Valley. Heat 3 of 3. Thank you, swimmers. Up next is event 61, our girls 11 and 12 50-meter freestyle prelims. There will be 7 heats. Parents, we're almost halfway through this session. Make sure to stretch your legs on your way up to get a snack at concessions. Heat 1 of 7. Lane 2, Una Nelson, Minnesota. Lane 3, Kate Ebert, Minnesota. Lane 4, Genevieve Welch, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Reagan Bollinger, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Bella Jimenez, Lake Erie. And Lane 7, Jamie Gola, Wisconsin. Heat 1 of 7. Heat 2. Lane 1, Delia Wagstaff, Minnesota. Lane 2, Lana Aronis, Missouri Valley. Lane 3, Bryn Palmer, Minnesota. Lane 4, Macy Severud, Minnesota. Lane 5, Maddie Mathiasen, Minnesota. Lane 6, Autumn McIntosh, Missouri. Lane 7, Avery Bahunik, Iowa. And Lane 8, Charlotte Watcher, Lake Erie. Heat 2. Heat 3. Lane 1, Peyton Pascal, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Stella Schmidt, Lake Erie. Lane 3, Maddie Steiner, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Ainsley Palmer, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Megan Hovard, Michigan. Lane 6, Mara Koretz, Minnesota. Lane 7, Nora Fu, Wisconsin. Lane 8, Lane Grizel, Missouri Valley. Heat 3. Heat 4. Lane 1, Kinsley Smith, Iowa. Lane 2, Haley Herman, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Catherine Deeb, Minnesota. Lane 4, Maddie Kissinger, Minnesota. Lane 5, Addie Lant, Minnesota. Lane 6, Alexis Conkey, Michigan. Lane 7, Avery Bradley, Wisconsin. And Lane 8, Kate Jones, Missouri Valley. Final for tonight, event 53, girls 11, 12, 50-meter butterfly. That final is closed with 0 scratches. Heat 5. Lane 1, Charlotte Germain, Michigan. Lane 2, Delaney Radelski, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Estelle Bergs, Minnesota. Lane 4, Grace Richter, Lake Erie. Lane 5, Hayden Bembo, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Aria Armstrong, Minnesota. Lane 7, Izzy Samide, Lake Erie. And Lane 8, Poppy Lacrosse, Michigan. Heat 5 of 7. Heat 6. Lane 1, Kaylin Reedy, Michigan. Lane 2, Ashlyn Burns, Iowa. Lane 3, Olivia Van Gilder, Minnesota. Lane 4, Livy Solt, Minnesota. Lane 5, Jocelyn Rabick, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Zoe Standard, Michigan. Lane 7, Isla Egbers, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Lexi Miner, Wisconsin. Heat 6. Heat 7. Lane 1, Olivia Thornby, Michigan. Lane 2, Ella Urban, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Lilu Thompson, Minnesota. Lane 4, Raina Boxwell, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Elena Loomis, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Claire Aurelia, Lake Erie. Lane 7, Sophia Kukowski Gonzalez, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Annie Remus, Wisconsin. 7 of 7. Event 61. Event 62, boys 11 and 12, 50-meter freestyle, heat 1 of 4. Swimming in lane 2, Joseph Saputra, Iowa. Lane 3, Julian Stump, Minnesota. Lane 4, Emmett Bodette, Minnesota. Lane 5, Charlie Dunbar, Michigan. Lane 6, Ben Nowak, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 4. Heat 2. Lane 1, Yusuf Omar, Minnesota. Lane 2, Wyatt Dold, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Adrian Sanchez, Minnesota. Lane 4, Grayson Ludall, Minnesota. Lane 5, Zach Felton, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Charlie Troyer, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Gavin Kimack, Lake Erie. Lane 8, Grant Hartman, Missouri Valley. Finals tonight, event 54, boys 11 and 12, 50-meter butterfly. That final is closed, 0 scratches. Heat 3. Lane 1, Sam Maison, Lake Erie. Lane 2, Warwick Kearns, Missouri Valley. Lane 3, Anthony Dorenzo, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Aiden Kelly, Michigan. Lane 5, Tupper Gorman, Michigan. Lane 6, Grant Nugent, Michigan, or Missouri Valley. Lane 7, Matt Reed, Iowa. Lane 8, Connor Miller, Minnesota. Event 55, girls 13, 14, 50, butterfly. That final is closed, 0 scratches. Heat 4. Lane 1, Cash Hungerholt, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Cameron Dula, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Jacob Stolt, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Sheldon Lamb, Iowa. Lane 5, Ozzie Ledesma, Michigan. Lane 6, Cormac Jacks, Michigan. Lane 7, Braden Chen, Lake Erie. Lane 8, Chase Miller, Wisconsin. Heat 4-4. That is a new unofficial meet record by Sheldon Lamb. Event 63, girls 13-14, 50-meter freestyle, heat 1 of 10. Lane 2, Baya Burke, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Ramsey Carter, Iowa. Lane 4, Piper Jivok, Iowa. Lane 5, Amelia Tudor, Iowa. Lane 6, Reese Leiter, Wisconsin. And Lane 7, Kate Waltz, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 10. Heat 2. Lane 1, Lena Clifford, Lake Erie. Lane 2, Sarah Johnson, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Liddy McCoy, Missouri Valley. Lane 4, Julia Turner, Lake Erie. Lane 5, Sasha Weiner, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Isabel Lane, Minnesota. Lane 7, Katie Thiessen, Iowa. And Lane 8, Keely Wheeler, Minnesota. Final for tonight, event 56, boys 13-14, 50-meter butterfly. That final is closed with 0 scratches. Heat 3. Lane 1, Julia Burrell, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Kimber Corwin, Iowa. Lane 3, Casey McAllister, Michigan. Lane 4, Jada Ripke, Iowa. Lane 5, Avery Hogue, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Ashley Palmer, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Kayla Perrone, Missouri Valley. Lane 8, Kinley Plummer, Wisconsin. Heat 3 of 10. Heat 4. Lane 1, Madeline Schaefer, Michigan. Lane 2, Rachel Brzezinski, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Elise Meyer, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Georgia Grant, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Abby McCaskin, Michigan. Lane 6, Catherine Sowerby, Michigan. Lane 7, Ava Pavic, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Maddie Kalinowski, Michigan. Heat 4 of 10. Heat 5. Lane 1, Stella Oliverio, Lake Erie. Lane 2, Elena Vasky, Iowa. Lane 3, Madeline Smith, Wisconsin. Lane 4, AJ Magers, Iowa. Lane 5, Olivia McClintock, Minnesota. Lane 6, Sydney Johnson, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Kara Gorzek, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Storm Thomas, Michigan. Heat 5 of 10. Heat 6. Lane 1, Lorelei Kaufman, Lake Erie. Lane 2, Karina Gadke, Minnesota. Lane 3, Bridget Cunningham, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Vivian Utschig, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Bella Johnson, Minnesota. Lane 6, Vivian Lenzen, Minnesota. Lane 7, Raya Arnett, Michigan. And Lane 8, Zoe Lesko, Lake Erie. Heat 7. Lane 1, Kalia Lampe, Wisconsin. 2, Kira Jokes, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Grace Hostetler, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Elise Brazil, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Iris Sorensen-Wagner, Minnesota. Lane 6, Bree Butler, Michigan. Lane 7, Aaron Drayton, Michigan. Lane 8, Megan Greenberg, Minnesota. Heat 7 of 10. Heat 8. Lane 1, Maddie Parent, Minnesota. Lane 2, Kinsley Olson, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Adriana Drake, Michigan. Lane 4, Marion Calwhite, Minnesota. Lane 5, Sophie Schneider, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Chelsea Willenbring, Minnesota. Lane 7, Kaylee Von Ruden, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Brenna Witcher, Wisconsin. Heat 8 of 10. Heat 9. Lane 1, Maddie Loken, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Elise Miller, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Vivian Schott, Minnesota. Lane 4, Avery Antonuski, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Melanie Ortiz, Michigan. Lane 6, Bree Harvey, Minnesota. Lane 7, Phoebe Zalewski, Michigan. Lane 8, Emery Sink, Michigan. Heat 9 of 10. Heat 10. Lane 1, Abigail Fromelt, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Emma Ristow, Minnesota. Lane 3, Joy Liu, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Amira Wen, Minnesota. Lane 5, Lauren Kamasa, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Nora Landon, Iowa. Lane 7, Ava John Jack, Wisconsin. And Lane 8, Team Lake Erie. Heat 10 of 10. Event 64, boys 13-14, 50-meter freestyle, heat 1 of 9. Lane 3, Jackson Roman, Michigan. Lane 4, Ethan Jens, Minnesota. And Lane 5, Mackenzie Schroeder, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 9. Heat 2. Lane 1, Gabe Broden, Minnesota. Lane 2, Logan Christian, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Tanner Copeland, Missouri Valley. Lane 4, Josiah Ward, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Braden Greer, Lake Erie. Lane 6, Kellen Krantz, Minnesota. Lane 7, Freddie Capelli, Wisconsin. Lane 8, Briggs Borchardt, Wisconsin. Heat 2 of 9. Heat 3. Lane 1, Spencer Gremben, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Henry Bolt, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Seth Wickerman Singh, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Santi Diaz, Iowa. Lane 5, Jack Swanson, Minnesota. Lane 6, Bentley Brodeur, Iowa. Lane 7, Leto, Michigan. And Lane 8, Maitri Gulati, Minnesota. Heat 3 of 9. Heat 4. Lane 1, Javi Gomez Mendoza, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Leighton Yerkes, Minnesota. Lane 3, Jay Balaconder, Iowa. Lane 4, Hudson Kemper, Michigan. Lane 5, Carlisle Beltran, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Teo Sanowo, Minnesota. Lane 7, Kipton Helmrich, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Brian Ormiston, Lake Erie. Heat 4 of 9. Heat 5. Lane 1, Isaac Stewart, Missouri Valley. Lane 2, Casey Colvin, Lake Erie. Lane 3, Zach Moore, Minnesota. Lane 4, Brady Bond, Michigan. Lane 5, Sam Wilniak, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Leon Bykov, Iowa. Lane 7, Colton Brower, Michigan. And Lane 8, Ewan Jacks, Michigan. Heat 5 of 9. Heat 6. Lane 1, Henry Christensen, Missouri Valley. Lane 2, Danny Warren, Lake Erie. Lane 3, Ian Kimack, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Joshua Lee, Minnesota. Lane 5, Bennett Krukeberg, Minnesota. Lane 6, Liam McAuliffe, Minnesota. Lane 7, Cole Ludall, Minnesota. And Lane 8, Jude Linderblood, Iowa. Heat 6. Heat 7. Lane 1, Isaiah Jacob, Minnesota. 2, Reed McCammon, Michigan. 3, Max Mako, Iowa. 4, Noah Landry, Minnesota. 5, Talon Smith, Lake Erie. 6, Bryson Hugas, Minnesota. 7, Charlie Craig, Michigan. 8, Cameron Sidazamov, Michigan. Heat 7 of 9. Heat 8. Lane 1, Aiden Fitch, Minnesota. Lane 2, Braden McGuire, Iowa. Lane 3, Peyton McGuire, Minnesota. Lane 4, Benjamin Wisotsky, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Kai Joyner, Minnesota. Lane 6, Micah Debelts, Minnesota. Lane 7, Greg Florman, Michigan. 8, Parker Miller, Minnesota. Heat 8 of 9. Heat 9. One, James Yon, Lake Erie. 2, Rowan Geiger, Wisconsin. 3, Will Jazz, Minnesota. 4, Graham Henderson, Missouri Valley. 5, Diedrich Wallasak, Minnesota. 6, Finn Novak, Minnesota. 7, Rowan Langer, Wisconsin. 8, Rowan Irwin, Minnesota. Heat 9 of 9. Final event, 59 girls, 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke. That final is closed with 0 scratches. Great swimming, boys. Up next is event 65, girls 11 and 12, 100-meter backstroke. There will be 5 heats. Heat 1. Lane 3, Sasha Baikova, Iowa. 4, Elsie Landon, Iowa. 5, Emmy Wen, Iowa. 6, Clara Aurelia, Lake Erie, Heat 1 of 5. And first announcement for finals tonight, event 60. Boys 13-14, 200-meter breaststroke. Your alternates, Henry Peterson, Minnesota. Isaiah Jacob, Minnesota. B final, Jasper Barone, Minnesota. Will Dietrich, Wisconsin. Reese Jenkins, Wisconsin. Carlisle Beltran, Missouri Valley. Ethan Hong, Michigan. Luke Woodhouse, Lake Erie. Alex Engelhart, Iowa. Will Vandenbush, Wisconsin. Your A final, Matthew Riggs, Missouri Valley. William Zuo, Minnesota. Henry Prawl, Wisconsin. Parker Miller, Minnesota. Charlie Nope, Michigan. Ben Susel, Iowa. Max Garbax, Wisconsin. And Henry Zanton, Wisconsin. It is 10:47 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Heat 2. Swimming in lane 1, Avery Bradley, Team Wisconsin. Lane 2, Sadie Etheridge, Michigan. Lane 3, Lana Aronis, Missouri Valley. 4, Elena Lumens, Wisconsin. 5, Mary Bow, Minnesota. 6, Kerrigan McKim, Lake Erie. 7, Olivia Van Gilder, Minnesota. And an 8, Brinley Cook, Lake Erie. Heat 2 of 5. First announcement for finals, event 61, girls 11 and 12, 50-meter freestyle. Your alternates, Ainsley Palmer, Wisconsin. Catherine Deeb, Minnesota. Your B final, Annie Remus, Wisconsin. Stella Schmidt, Lake Erie. Olivia Thornby, Michigan. Poppy Lacrosse, Michigan. Clara Aurelia, Lake Erie. Olivia Van Gilder, Minnesota. Isla Egbers, Minnesota. And Jocelyn Rabick, Wisconsin. Your A final, Kinsley Smith, Iowa. Charlotte Germain, Michigan. Hayden Bembo, Missouri Valley. Grace Richter, Lake Erie. Elena Lumens, Wisconsin. Kaylin Reedy, Michigan. Livy Solt, Minnesota. And Raina Boxwell, Wisconsin. It is currently 10:49. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Heat 3. Lane 1, Maddie Kissinger, Minnesota. Lane 2, Raylan Anderson, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Grace Turnbull, Lake Erie. Lane 4, Kelly Burke, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Macy Severud, Minnesota. Lane 6, Grayson Schindhelm, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Jordan McPhee, Wisconsin. And Lane 8, Zoe Thompson, Wisconsin. First announcement for finals event 62, boys 11 and 12, 50-meter freestyle. Your alternates, Braden Chen, Lake Erie. Charlie Troyer, Wisconsin. B final, Sam Mason, Lake Erie. Matt Reed, Iowa. Chase Miller, Wisconsin. Wyatt Dold, Wisconsin. Adrian Sanchez, Minnesota. Cormac Jacks, Michigan. Zach Felton, Missouri Valley. Anthony Dorenzo, Lake Erie. Your A final, Grant Nugent, Missouri Valley. Jacob Stolt, Wisconsin. Grayson Ludall, Minnesota. Ozzy Ledesma, Michigan. Cameron Dula, Wisconsin. Cash Hungerholt, Wisconsin. Aiden Kelly, Michigan. And Sheldon Lamb, Iowa. It is currently 10:51 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Heat 4. In lane 1, Christina June, Lake Erie. 2, Raina Boxwell, Wisconsin. 3, Lilu Thompson, Minnesota. 4, Lucy Paradis, Wisconsin. 5, Hayden Benbow, Missouri Valley. 6, Lottie Smith, Minnesota. 7, Olivia Strickler, Michigan. And then 8, Ella Urban, Wisconsin. Finals tonight, event 63, girls 13-14, 50-meter freestyle. Your alternates, Nora Landon, Iowa. Grace Hostetler, Lake Erie. B final, Phoebe Zalewski, Michigan. Sophie Schneider, Wisconsin. Adriana Drake, Michigan. Ava Johnjack, Wisconsin. Chelsea Willenbring, Minnesota. Maddie Loken, Wisconsin. Rachel Berzinski, Wisconsin. Marion Calwhite, Minnesota. Your A final, Joy Liu, Wisconsin. Emma Ristow, Minnesota. Maddie Parent, Minnesota. Lauren Kamasa, Wisconsin. Melanie Ortiz, Michigan. Avery Antoniewski, Wisconsin. Ava Hughes, Lake Erie. And Abigail Fromelt, Wisconsin. It is currently 10:53 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Heat 5. Lane 1, Anna Lee, Minnesota. Lane 2, Siggy Mattis, Missouri Valley. 3, Livy Solt, Minnesota. 4, Carson Ward, Missouri Valley. 5, Anna Michigan. 6, Sabrina Brillmeyer, Lake Erie. 7, Morgan Rutherford, Minnesota. And 8, Brooks Stiegmeyer, Lake Erie. Heat 5 of 5. Event 66, boys 11 and 1200 meter backstroke heat, 1 of 3. Lane 2, Warwick Kearns, Missouri Valley. 3, Grant Nugent, Missouri Valley. 4, Bo Breckenridge, Wisconsin. 5, Matthew Whitmire, Iowa. And 6, Quinn Yarbrough, Wisconsin. Heat 1 of 3. First announcement finals, event 64, boys 13, 14, 50 meter freestyle. Our second alternate, Finn Novak, Minnesota. We have a tie for 16th, so right now our B finals, Reed McCammon, Michigan, Colton Brower, Michigan, Max Mako, Iowa, Danny Warren, Lake Erie, Peyton McGuire, Minnesota, Isaac Stewart, Missouri Valley, James Yan, Lake Erie, Cameron Saidazamov, Michigan, Diedrich Walasek, Minnesota, A final, Brady Bond, Michigan, Will Jabs, Minnesota, Talon Smith, Lake Erie, Benjamin Wisotsky, Wisconsin, Charlie Craig, Michigan, Noah Landry, Minnesota, Kai Joyner, Minnesota, Graham Henderson, Missouri Valley. It is currently 10:57 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Heat 2. Lane 2, Charlie Dunbar, Michigan. 3, Frederick Musa, Michigan. 4, Tupper Gorman, Michigan. 5, Landon Lasek, Minnesota. 6, Charlie Reynolds, Wisconsin. And in 7, Sam Maison, Lake Erie. Heat 2 of 3 of the prelims. Heat 3. Lane 2, Isaac Fowler, Lake Erie. Lane 3, Cash Hungerholt, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Elliott Leisure, Minnesota. Lane 5, Leighton Norum, Team Iowa. Lane 6, Adrian Sanchez, Minnesota. And in Lane 7, Eamon Huey, Minnesota. Heat 3 of 3, event 66. Heat. Oh, that's not right. Event 67, girls 13-14, 100-meter backstroke, heat 1 of 5. Lane 1, Susanna Lowry, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Izzy Klausman, Minnesota. Lane 3, AJ Majors, Iowa. 4, Olivia McClintock, Minnesota. 5, Stella Oliverio, Lake Erie. 6, Julia Turner, Lake Erie. And in 7, Karina Gatke, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 5. Heat 2. Swimming in lane 1, Amelia Tudor, Iowa. Lane 2, Iris Sorensen Wagner, Minnesota. 3, Casey McAllister, Michigan. 4, Addie Hines, Wisconsin. 5, Amber Stringer, Missouri Valley. 6, Maddie Parent, Minnesota. 7, Joy Liu, Wisconsin. And in 8, Sophia Tudor, Iowa. Heat 2 of 5. Heat 3. Lane 1, Baya Burke, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Nala Mamatella, Michigan. Lane 3, Vivian Uchig, Wisconsin. 4, Neva Sanders, Minnesota. 5, Amanda Lotz, Wisconsin. 6, Rachel Brzezinski, Wisconsin. 7, Sophie Snyder, Wisconsin. And in 8, Catherine Sowerby, Michigan. Heat 3 of 5. Heat 4. Lane 1, Madison Shryock, Missouri Valley. 2, Emma Sena, Wisconsin. 3, Jada Ribke, Iowa. 4, Tay Martin, Wisconsin. 5, Marianne Calwhite, Minnesota. 6, Claire Christiansen, Minnesota. 7, Georgia Grant, Wisconsin. And 8, Adriana Drake, Michigan. Heat 4 of 5.
After event 68 for the B final in that event. Those will be the two swimmers. Are you good with setting that up in the console?
I don't know how to set that up.
After event 68, we will be holding a swim off for the boys 13, 14, 50 meter freestyle for the B final. That will be between Colton Brower, Michigan, and Reed McCammon, Michigan. After event 68, boys 13, 14, 50 meter freestyle swim off. Heat 5. Lane 1, Julia Burrell, Wisconsin. 2, Chelsea Willenbring, Minnesota. 3, Dahlia Brown, Michigan. 4, Avery Antoniewski, Wisconsin. 5, Miranda Phelps, Michigan. 6, Keely Wheeler, Minnesota. 7, Kate Kundert, Wisconsin. And 8, Sasha Weiner, Missouri Valley. Heat 5 of 5. First announcement for finals, event 65, girls 11 and 1200 meter backstroke. Your alternates: Jordan McPhee, Wisconsin. Kerrigan McKim, Lake Erie. B final: Olivia Van Gilder, Minnesota. Christina June, Lake Erie. Brooke Stigmeyer, Lake Erie. Lottie Smith, Minnesota. Olivia Strickler, Michigan. Grace Turnbull, Lake Erie. Sabrina Brillmeyer, Lake Erie. Grayson Schindhelm, Wisconsin. Your A final: Lilu Thompson, Minnesota. Livy Solt, Minnesota. Kaylee Burke, Wisconsin. Lucy Paradis, Wisconsin. Hayden Benbow, Missouri Valley. Macy Severud, Minnesota. Emma Ung, Michigan. And Carson Ward, Missouri Valley. It is currently 11:09 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Event 68, boys 13, 1400 meter backstroke. Heat 1 of 5. Lane 2, Matri Galati, Minnesota. Lane 3, Jay Balander, Iowa. 4, Gus Leroux, Iowa. 5, Hudson Kemper, Michigan. 6, Bentley Brodeur, Iowa. This is Heat 1 of 5. Reminder, after event 68, we will have that swim off for the boys 13, 14, 50 meter freestyle. That'll be between Colton Brower in lane 4 and Reed McCammon in lane 5. Upcoming. Heat 2. Lane 1, Ethan Jens, Minnesota. Lane 2, Logan Christian, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Greg Flormone, Michigan. Lane 4, Liam McAuliffe, Minnesota. Lane 5, Eric Spencer, Missouri Valley. 6, Jonah Watanabe, Minnesota. 7, Teo Senowo, Minnesota. And 8, Parker Hicks, Wisconsin. Final announcement, event 66, boys 11 and 1200 meter backstroke. Your B final, Warwick Kearns, Missouri Valley. Eamon Huey, Minnesota. Isaac Fowler, Lake Erie. Sam Mason, Lake Erie. Adrian Sanchez, Minnesota. Charlie Dunbar, Michigan. Quinn Yarborough, Wisconsin. Frederick Musa, Michigan. A final, Charlie Reynolds, Wisconsin. Leighton Norham, Iowa. Grant Nugent, Missouri Valley. Matthew Whitmire, Iowa. Tupper Gorman, Michigan. Bo Breckenridge, Wisconsin. Cash Hungerholt, Wisconsin, and Elliott Leisure, Minnesota. It is currently 11:12 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Heat 3. Lane 1, Tia Figueroa, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Brandon Cott, Minnesota. 3, Noah Landry, Minnesota. 4, Ian Kimmack, Lake Erie. 5, Kipton Helmrich, Minnesota. 6, Brecken Curran, Wisconsin. 7, Clayton Treyarn, Iowa. And an 8, Briggs Borchardt, Wisconsin. Heat 3 of 5. Heat 4. Lane 1, Leighton Yerkes, Minnesota. 2, Sam Christie, Missouri Valley. 3, Rowan Geiger, Wisconsin. 4, Benjamin Wisotsky, Wisconsin. 5, Alex Engelhart, Iowa. 6, Rowan Irwin, Minnesota. 7, Leon Bykov, Iowa. And an 8, Braden Greer, Lake Erie. Heat 4 of 5. Heat 5. Lane 1, Bennett Krukeberg, Minnesota. 2, Riley Burke, Wisconsin. 3, Diedrich Woleszek, Minnesota. 4, Graham Henderson, Missouri Valley. 5, Jackson Logsdon, Michigan. 6, Antonio Beliza, Michigan. 7, Anthony Kapinski, Michigan. And an 8, Josh Peters, Minnesota. Finals announcement, event 67, girls 1400 meter backstroke. Your alternates, Joy Liu, Wisconsin. Chelsea Willenbring, Minnesota. B final, Kate Kundert, Wisconsin. Madison Shryock, Missouri Valley. Sasha Weiner, Missouri Valley. Miranda Phelps, Michigan. Amber Stringer, Missouri Valley. Claire Christiansen, Minnesota. Catherine Sowerby, Michigan. Vivian Utschik, Wisconsin. A final, Marion Calwhite, Minnesota. Rachel Brzezinski, Wisconsin. Emma Sina, Wisconsin. Nala Mamatella, Michigan. Dahlia Brown, Michigan. Neva Sanders, Minnesota. Tay Martin, Wisconsin. And Avery Antoniewski, Wisconsin. It is currently 11:17 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. We will now hold that swim off. While we're getting that set up, final for event 60, boys 13-14 200 meter breaststroke is closed. There were 0 scratches. So this is event 364, the swim off for the B final. Boys 13-14 50 meter freestyle. And lane 4, Colton Brower, Michigan. And lane 5, Reed McCammon, Michigan. This is a swim off. And congratulations, Colton Brower, for making the B final. We're going to be going into the 400s. Like other distance events, we will be alternating between the boys and the girls. Heat 1 in all events will be swam tonight with the finals.
Paul, you're going on Heat 2.
Event 69, girls 11-12 400 free, Heat 2. Lane 1, Ella Herder, Michigan. Lane 2, Reagan Bollinger, Missouri Valley. Lane 3, Raylan Anderson, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Jocelyn Rabick, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Siggy Mattis, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Annie Remus, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Charlie Greger, Wisconsin. And Lane 8, Kinsley Smith, Iowa. C2, event 69. Swimmers, as we are wrapping up this prelim session, a reminder, we would like to clean up our areas. The 10 and under swimmers, well, they were talking a lot of smack, saying how they were much cleaner than you older kids, and they just think you guys are just a mess. So let's prove them wrong and clean up your areas. Parents, the same go for you. Please don't make me come up there. First announcement for event 68, boys 13, 1400 meter backstroke. Your alternates, Greg Flormone, Michigan, Briggs, Borchardt, Wisconsin. Your B final, Brandon Cott, Minnesota, Clayton Treharn, Iowa, Sam Christie, Missouri Valley, Brecken Curran, Wisconsin, Riley Burke, Wisconsin, Noah Landry, Minnesota, Anthony Kapinski, Michigan, Diedrich Wallachek, Minnesota. Your A final, Rowan Geiger, Wisconsin, Alex Engelhart, Iowa, Antonio Beliza, Michigan, Benjamin Wisotsky, Wisconsin, Kipton Helmrich, Minnesota, Graham Henderson, Missouri Valley, and Jackson Logsdon, Team Michigan. It is 11:21 a.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Event 61 final, girls 11 and 12, 50-meter freestyle. That final is closed. There were 0 scratches. Final tonight, event 62, boys 11 and 12, 50-meter freestyle. That final is closed. There were 0 scratches. Final tonight, event 63, girls 13, 14, 50-meter freestyle. That final is closed. 0 scratches. Event 70, boys 11 and 12, 400 free, heat 2. Swimming in lane 1, Max Jeffries, Team Iowa. Lane 2, Adrian Sanchez, Minnesota. 3, Dimitri Pronin, Wisconsin. 4, Owen Smith, Wisconsin. 5, Chase Miller, Wisconsin. 6, Grayson Ludall, Minnesota. 7, Landon Lasek, Minnesota. In lane 8, Zach Felton, Missouri Valley. This is Heat 2, Event 70. Boys 11 and 12, 400 free. Swimmers and parents, we will return tonight for finals. That warm-up time is tentatively 4 p.m. Tonight, 4 p.m., tentative warm-up after the completion of the 10 and under session. Final tonight, event 64. Boys 13-14, 50-meter freestyle. That final is closed, 0 scratches. Event 69, girls, 11-12, 400 free, heat 3. In lane 3, Poppy Lacrosse, Team Michigan. Lane 4, Frankie Martino, Team Iowa. And in lane 5, Aria Armstrong, Team Minnesota. Heat 3, girls 11 and 12, 400 freestyle. Event 70, boys, 11, 12, 400 freestyle, heat 3. Swimming in lane 3, Grant Hartman, Team Missouri Valley. Lane 4, Cash Hungerhold, Team Wisconsin. Lane 5, Braden Long, Team Lake Erie. And in lane 6, Isaac Fowler, Team Lake Erie. Heat 3, boys 400. Event 71, girls 13-14, 400 meter freestyle, heat 1. Swimming in lane 2, Grace Hotstetler, Lake Erie. Lane 3, Megan Greenberg, Minnesota. Lane 4, Izzy Klausman, Minnesota. Lane 5, Abigail Fermelt, Wisconsin. Then lane 6, Avery Hogue, Missouri Valley. Heat 1 of 4, prelim. Final, event 65, girls 11 and 1200 meter backstroke. That final is closed, 0 scratches. Event 66, boys 11 and 1200 meter backstroke. That final is closed, 0 scratches. Heat 2 of 4. Swimming in lane 1, Anya Kurkowski, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Alexia Pakurar, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Elise Miller, Wisconsin. Lane 4, Amber Stringer, Missouri Valley. Lane 5, Sophie Katz, Minnesota. Lane 6, Emily Cavill, Wisconsin. Lane 7, Lily Wilkinson, Minnesota. And in lane 8, Greta Huberg, Team Iowa, Heat 2 of 4. Heat 3. In lane 1, Rachel Berzinski, Wisconsin. Lane 2, Vivian Schott, Minnesota. Lane 3, Ji-Yoon Woo, Michigan. Lane 4, Kaya Casey, Minnesota. Lane 5, Amanda Lotz, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Kara Gorzek, Minnesota. Lane 7, Elena Pontrelli, Minnesota. And in lane 8, Adele Stark, Minnesota. Heat 3. Final event 67, 1400 meter backstroke. That final is closed, 0 scratches. Final event 68, boys 1400 meter backstroke. Final is closed, 0 scratches. Heat 4. Swimming in lane 1, Andrea Amaro, Michigan. Lane 2, Poppy Sickler, Wisconsin. Lane 3, Clara Seaman, Missouri Valley. Lane 4, Jayla Kutsak, Michigan. Lane 5, Madison Shryock, Missouri Valley. Lane 6, Maria Elkutzi, Michigan. Lane 7, Sophia Van Heest, Michigan. Lane 8, Helena Mundasev, Iowa. Heat 404. Event 72, boys 13, 14, 400 meter freestyle, heat 1 of 5. Swimming in lane 3, Clayton Treharn, Iowa. Lane 4, Gabe Deach, Wisconsin. Lane 5, Alan Bertelson, Minnesota. Heat 1 of 5. Heat 2. Swimming in lane 2, Danny Warren, Lake Erie. Lane 3, Leighton Yerkes, Minnesota. Lane 4, Aiden Malk, Lake Erie. Lane 5, Morgan Dorsey, Wisconsin. Lane 6, Brady Bond, Michigan. And lane 7, Bennett Crookeberg, Minnesota. Final announcement, event 71, girls 13-14, 400-meter freestyle. Your alternates, Elise Miller, Wisconsin. Sophie Katz, Minnesota. B final, Jayla Cusack, Michigan. Elena Pontrelli, Minnesota. Amber Stringer, Missouri Valley. Kara Gorzek, Minnesota. Avery Hogue, Missouri Valley. Amanda Lotz, Wisconsin. Andrea Amaro, Michigan. Emily Cavill, Wisconsin. A final, Clara Seaman, Missouri Valley. Sophia Van Heest, Michigan. Poppy Sickler, Wisconsin. Jiyun Wu, Michigan. Vivian Schott, Minnesota. Madison Shryock, Missouri Valley. Kaya Casey, Minnesota. And Maria Elkudzi, Michigan. It is currently 12:09 p.m. You have 30 minutes to scratch. Coaches, tentative warm-up for the next session, that would be session 6, 10 and unders, will be 12:30 to 1:20, depending on how we finish out these 4 heats. Heat 3. Lane 1, Timmy Riolo, Minnesota. Lane 2, Talon Smith, Lake Erie. 3, William Zuo, Minnesota. 4, Justin Okopny, Michigan. 5, Chris June, Lake Erie. 6, Jackson Roman, Michigan. 7, Jack Swanson, Minnesota. And an 8, Rowan Langer, Wisconsin. Heat 3. Coaches and swimmers, after these last 2 heats, the pool will not be open for cool downs. Cool downs will take place at the pool behind the gold wall. So no cool downs in here because the little guys got to warm up in here. Head on over and cool down in the other pool. Thank you. Heat 4. Swimming in lane 1, Reed McCammon, Michigan. Lane 2, Henry Peterson, Minnesota. Lane 3, Jai Wen Shu, Minnesota. Lane 4, Jake McPhail, Lake Erie. Lane 5, Zach Moore, Minnesota. Lane 6, Blake Royce, Missouri Valley. Lane 7, Jasper Barone, Minnesota. And in lane 8, Reed Turney, Lake Erie. Heat 4 of 5. Heat 5. Lane 1, Wes Knapp, Minnesota. Lane 2, Josh Heckler, Minnesota. Lane 3, Sam Ero, Michigan. Lane 4, Kai Joyner, Minnesota. Lane 5, Charlie Nope, Michigan. Lane 6, Isaac Knapp, Iowa. Lane 7, Henry Christensen, Missouri Valley. And in Lane 8, Josh Peters, Minnesota. Heat 5 of 5. Reminder, coaches and swimmers, after this heat, the pool will not be open for cool down. Swimmers that need to cool down will need to go into the other pool on the north side of the pool by the gold wall. 10 and under swimmers. Warm-ups are still tentatively at 12:30.